Hey everybody, welcome back to Arkham Tuesday. So this is the pilot for terrible, terrible show, Gotham. I'm going to go on record and say that I hated this show when it first started. Yeah, I hated this show when it first started. Why? Why do you hate the show, Miles? Because I'm a Batman fan, and this show took a dump on the character in just about every way you could think of. Like, I can't understand how and why the show got renewed year after year. I'm like, how is the show on the air? So the one thing I will say is that the guy playing Gordon was pretty good, pretty well cast. I just think he should have been Bruce Wayne instead. He had the look of a Bruce Wayne type, and he was just way too serious to be Jim Gordon, in my opinion. Like, he had the right build and everything. He was young and all that stuff. I think if they just cast him as a Bruce Wayne that just got back from training, would have been perfect. Instead, they did the Smallville thing where they put all Batman villains in the show. They made Bruce Wayne as a tiny ass little kid. Like in the opening of the show, we got Selena Kyle as a street urchin. This makes sense for that character, fine, but like, she looks like a young Michelle Pfeiffer. This is a nice little touch. It was like this show is more about, I want to say, the city creating Batman versus other versions. They usually have the villains inspired by Batman. One of my only problems is that once again we get the Waynes killed off so fast. Like, they really could have dived right into the family history of the Waynes for once, especially on TV. I'm like, could have at least had a season or two with the Waynes, so we actually get to know who these people are before they get killed. I'm like, never got any information on Thomas or Martha Wayne in any iteration of the Batman. Never. It's always flashbacks, some random guy shooting two actors. It's never been, let's get to know the Waynes. What made them so rich and famous? What does Thomas Wayne actually do during the day? That type of stuff. So they get those are his parents, but like, what was their relationship with him? We never get to see him for more than a couple seconds. It always bothered me. Like, they just killed him off way too fast. I'm like, they need to do this early. Like, I've always believed that in this alley, this is where Batman was born, and Bruce Wayne died with his parents. But outside of this, they don't. They just really jump right into it. I think they could have used more of a slow burn for this. Again, I always hated the show when it was on the air. Because they got a freaking grown ass Edward Nigma, where Bruce Wayne is like 10 years old in this stupid show. Got a little kitty ass Poison Ivy, freaking tiny ass Selena Kyle. This is like in Smallville when they put freaking Doomsday in season 7 or something. And then they had Clark fight him. But then I think they made him a dude or something with a split personality or some nonsense. It was stupid. I gave Smallville a pass because I've never been a Superman guy. And like that was like the first time that they actually showed Superman in a different light. But this is Harvey Bullock. So Harvey is the mentor figure for Jim Gordon. I mean, the visuals and the idea of the show is interesting, but as a Batman fan, I couldn't get behind this stupid show. Just couldn't do it. Something about it has really ticked me off. Because like if they'd done this differently, they could have had this opening and then they could have done a couple of time jumps and actually had Bruce Wayne grow up on the show, which they did, but I think they just handled it very poorly. And again, the guy playing Gordon should have been an older Bruce Wayne. They just got back from training. I know the voice. I know the actor voiced Batman in one of the animated movies. I think it was year one. So he's got the voice. He's got the build. He just wasted him as Gordon. He's like, there will be light. Like, no, there will be darkness. Lots of darkness. There won't be any light, just darkness. It's like in the comics, the guy shoots the Waynes. It's always a random robbery, but in more recent versions, they try to make it like it was a mobster thing or something. Like in the Telltale games, they made it seem like someone actually put a hit out on Thomas and Martha Wayne. Never got to see why though. This is probably my least favorite Alfred. At least when it show started. I think Michael Caine is still the best Alfred I've seen on screen so far. No other version's really gotten to do as much as he did. Like in the 90s, Alfred was kind of a joke. Past 89, he was kind of a joke. They didn't really do anything with him. They changed actors so many times. I can't imagine that guy wasn't confused after a while. But you don't what the guy I was working with last time. Because they talk about the Waynes, so we never get to know what makes them tick and all that stuff. When you have the opportunity on TV, you just went from A to Z because they very much put Bruce Wayne in the background. Kind of the opposite of Smallville, really. I kind of felt like they got over the Wayne murder a little too fast, especially Bruce. Like I feel like he was over his parents' murder by the second episode. Like that That night in the alley is what drives him to become who he is. It's not like a temporary thing. And that's what I feel like the show didn't understand about that character. Of course, you got throwing all his damn villains. I think even the Mad Hatter showed up at some point. But Batman doesn't face him, but Jim Gordon that faces him. Again, the idea of the show is interesting. I mean, it kind of shows you just how much how unrealistic it would be to actually find the guy that murdered the Waynes in this big city. I don't know. They already got Edward Nigma. They had Edward Nigma, and then they had young Harvey Dent at some point in the stupid show. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. They got rid of Harvey Dent, if I remember correctly. I would have laughed my ass off if it actually made him come Two-Face in the show. I'm almost certain that someone made up an Alfred Pennyworth show too. It's kind of bizarre. You get all these shows about different characters, but never got another live action Batman series besides the '60s. Just kind of sad. And after the Penguin series from HBO, since the Batman Part 2 has been delayed, I think the smartest thing for him to do is to give us a live action Batman series set between the movies to develop a character, to develop a character. It's supposed to be about a younger Batman. By the time Part 2 comes out, Batman's going to be an old ass man. We only have one movie. By the time Part 2 comes out, he's going to be growing out an old ass man. Then this dude and Butch, they made him Solomon Grundy or some crap. Random ass dude to Solomon Grundy. My Solomon Grundy? Born on a Monday? Christened on Tuesday? Married on Wednesday? That guy? Then they also got Penguin, and they had this stupid uh, romance between Penguin and Edward Nigma, where he had he got Mr. Freeze's freeze gun or something because they had Mr. Freeze in the of course. Just so cheesy and stupid. I just like, how did this show last so long? Smallville got 10 seasons, but I would argue Smallville was written a little bit better. Not in every aspect of the show, but I'd rather sit through Smallville than this. Well, even look at this poster I got on the screen here. Even got Bruce in the background, so it's not even really about him. At least you can argue it's about the city of Gotham, hence the title. But yeah, I'll stand by what I said before. I think the dude, Ben McKenzie, I think is his name, who portrayed Jim Gordon, this should have been a young Bruce Wayne. I mean, why not? He fights all of his freaking enemies in this show at some point. They even had a phony ass Joker type character at one point in the show. I'm like, God, I'm shitting me with this. So they got Poison Ivy in the show as a little kid. They had Solomon Grundy apparently, freaking Edward Enigma, Oswald Cobblepot. Well, Cobblepot kind of makes sense for this manipulating everybody from behind the scenes, that type of thing. And Jim's wife, Barbara Keene, got to be like this crazy ass psychopath. Her mother, Barbara Gordon, is a freaking psychopath in the show. I think it was interesting having Bullock as the mentor figure in this. And again, the idea of the show is interesting. I just thought it was really, really cheesy the way it was executed. Like I know, like in Spider-Man comics, Spider-Man always goes after the guy that murdered Ben Parker, but as far as I know, Batman's never encountered the guy that shot his parents. outside of like Dark Knight movies. But so we have pleasant talk. So yeah, we got freaking Ivy in the show. This little ass kid. You gotta be kidding me. Goes to the table. There he goes. But this fat dude's gonna outrun Jim Gordon. It's like there is a comic book series called Gotham Central. I think this is trying to be loosely based on. Now those comics are actually pretty cool because Batman's in the background, like actual Batman, not a little 10-year-old Bruce Wayne. They just adapt that. I think would be fine. There's like they solve a bunch of random cops solving crimes with Batman in the background, like Mr. Freeze freezing cops or something, and they investigate that type of thing. You don't see Batman in those comics outside of like a couple of panels. Like they added this character called Fish Mooney to the series, like a mobster type of character. That's kind of cool. I don't mind that type of stuff. This was a little too easy. I'm like, oh, we got the guy. Like, yeah, right. I kind of like how Oswald is playing both sides and on his rise to power. That actually kind of makes sense for the character, so I don't mind that. But once you throw in freaking Edward Nigma, a little tiny ass voice knife, I just throw my hands up there and I'm like, what are we doing here? I guess if you look at it like in Batman Begins, when Rutger Hauer's power character is like, who we watch the Empire when you grow up, they'll be waiting for you. You can see that. You could look at this show as like an in between of that. I suppose, filling in the gaps, but like not really sure that it works. It would have worked better, I think, if they had time jumps. Like I do like the kid that casts as Bruce. I think he was underused in this series. And he gets captured way too damn much. Of course, they did a little bit of the Renee Montoya playing for the other team thing in the show a little bit. I think they got rid of the storyline eventually, but I didn't think they would actually go that far in the show. But they did a lot of things in the show that I didn't think they were stupid enough to do. But he acts like freaking Bruce Wayne, man. All this guy needed was the back out, I swear. So wait, now we're going to see the origins of Ivy and Edward Nigma and Oswald Cobblepot. Like they do have a lot of interesting concepts in the show, but they got repetitive really fast. So they had Looney Bird. Like, I think I like the way they introduced Carmen Falcone in this. You provide a little bit of a background on Gordon at the same time, and they introduce a new foil to the series. Because I don't think we ever see the birth of Barbara Gordon in the show. Yeah. Yeah, that's the guy that made Solomon Grundy. Remember, they used Solomon Grundy a couple times in the Justice League cartoon from the early 2000s and Arkham City. I don't think he shows up that many times, though. But see, Smallville's problem in the early season was doing the freak of the week thing. With this show, I think they focus too much on basically letting everybody know this is a Batman show without Batman. Still became a popular show somehow, but I think that's part of the reason why it suffered, in my opinion, anyway. And just make a freaking Batman show. Like in the Matt Reeves universe would be perfect for this. We just had a Penguin series in live action. It was fantastic. Like a Sopranos, a modern day Sopranos or something. It was fantastic. For some reason, we just can't seem to do that more than one of those with an actual Batman show. I don't understand why. Now is the time to do it. Like while we're sitting back waiting for the new Matt Reeves Batman film, might as well fill in the gaps with a new fresh detective story. They could even do the Court of Owls or something. Like I've always thought the Court of Owls would work pretty well in the Matt Reeves universe. Like one of the things I always love about Batman, all the stuff like in the first couple of years in the comics, he goes after the mob. This is why I think they should have had Ben McKenzie play young Bruce Wayne because that's taken right out of the comics. He takes down the mob, like that's his first target when he becomes Batman. He comes back to Gotham. It's in year one, I think it is. So here we got the introduction of Carmine Falcone. This is a very cool flow for the series. They even had a rivalry between him and Salvatore Maroni at some point, I think, in the series. It was interesting. This is the type of stuff that will actually be going on while Batman's away training in the mountains. That's part of what makes it interesting, the show interesting, if not the only thing that makes it redeemable. Only problem is they never went anywhere with it. Yeah, I'm saying, like, if they could just cast Mackenzie as Bruce Wayne, the show would have been great. Like, I never liked it when it was on the air because I'm a diehard Batman guy. The show is terrible all the way around. Like, I don't know if people are just lazy or just they just don't know how to write another live action Batman series, but in today's day and age, especially with that lioness, damn. Like with the Batman universe finally establishing Batman as a detective, they already laid the groundwork for a potential fresh set of stories. I don't remember where they were the rest of this go with Carmen Falcone. They might have killed him off, but yeah, I like the idea that they present with this revenge crime on the rise. Like, unfortunately, this show is a complete freaking mess. It's all over the place, and it's a little too self-aware at sometimes. Like, doesn't know if it wants to be grounded or set in this 1960s universe. But yeah, this dude was cast as Bruce Wayne would be somewhat better. They can still have all the organized crime stuff. They could just they just cast him as young Bruce Wayne just got back from the mountains. Well, they could just do Earth One where Alfred trains Batman to fight, like in the Matt universe, because Alfred has military training, military history in some version of the comics. Like, I don't know if I like the idea of a rookie Jim Gordon cop. He is supposed to be like the only decent cop in Gotham. Yeah, I'm the king of Gotham. What happened to you, James? I came to Gotham. That's what happened. He came to Gotham and decided to stay like a fool. That's what happened. Miguel mentioned that I like the kid playing Bruce Wayne in this. I just don't think they knew what to do with him. He's like 10 years old in this. Like the age Bruce is in the comics when his parents are killed varies. The kid already likes going on rooftops. Hmm. Like Bruce never listens to Alfred, man. Like you can see like the beginnings of him admiring the cops, wanting to do more, that type of thing. Like there's some interesting ideas in the show, but overall this show is absolutely terrible. As a Batman fan, I'm just uh, this show could have been so much more.